Hello, my loves. Welcome to a very special episode of the Becoming You podcast. Today we are doing a Q&A session, which I don't think I've ever done before. But recently over on Instagram, I found a way for people, when I say people, I mean my audience, my followers, to ask any question they want anonymously. And something incredible happens when you allow people to ask something anonymously. It's like all of a sudden they become 10 times more courageous and brave and vulnerable. And all of these beautiful questions flowed out from my audience. And so I decided that I was going to take some of those questions and answer them on the podcast for you. So let's get started, shall we? So, one of the very first questions I got was, and I'm going to read it word for word. I don't like to play with my kids. I love my kids, but I don't want to play. I feel so guilty. What thoughts do you have on this? So, I personally love this question because it's something that I have long struggled with. I no longer struggle with it now. But when my kids were younger and I was, much earlier on in my parenting journey, I also used to be consumed with guilt about not wanting to play with my kids. And here's the thing. So, first of all, we grow up watching other people, right? Maybe the model is our parents, maybe it's our grandparents, but we have formed ideas and beliefs about what makes a parent a great parent or a good parent. And that is usually based on what other people have done before us. So, maybe you believe that a great parent is somebody who gets down on their hands and knees and spends endless amount of hours playing with their kids. Maybe you didn't receive that from your own parents and you missed that. And now you think, well, I didn't get that from my parents and I really craved for it. So now, in order to be a good parent, I need to be able to do that for my kids. Okay. Or maybe your parents never did that and you were okay with it. But you've read parenting books and media and the movies and things like that, TV shows. You've consumed all of this, media, and it makes you believe that a good parent is one who sits and plays with their kids, right? And what I want you to acknowledge here is guilt means I'm doing something bad, right? So what you're saying is by not playing with my kids, I'm doing something bad for them or to them, etc. What you're not taking into consideration here is that we're all very unique and we all have different personalities. Some parents love playing with their kids and it truly brings them joy. They find it fun, they find it easy, right? But a lot of people don't. We find it sometimes mind numbing and boring. So get clear on which one of those buckets do you fall into. Like, if you don't really like playing with your kids, that's okay. Stop trying to force yourself to fit into a box that does not fit for you. Okay. And so what your child is essentially asking, right, when they ask you to play with you or play, is a way for us to connect with our children, right? Kids love to play. That's what they do all day, every day, and everything in life for them comes through play. And that's the age, that's a developmental phase that they're at. And how wonderful would it be if we can all take that with us throughout the rest of our life? But we don't. But playing is just one way to connect with your children. And so find other ways to connect with your child if playing is something that drains your energy. The second tip that I gave was, i- if playing Legos or whatever it is that they're inviting you to play, it doesn't fill you with joy, find something that you can enjoy. So for me, Legos is like a big no-no. I hate cutting cardboard and creating things out of my imagination. And one of my kids is amazing at that. My husband is amazing at that, but that's like nails on a chalkboard to me, right? But I am amazing at having conversations with my kids, like sitting down and playing make believe, right? I am wonderful at holding space for conversations. I am somebody who doesn't mind taking them to get ice cream and go to Target to get a toy that they want. So I also love board games and we have Tickle Fest. So these are all different ways for me to connect with my children aside from playing Legos. and Minecraft and Roblox and things like that, which to me I find mind numbing. The other thing is, my question would be, are you setting boundaries around how long you're going to play with your kids? I think when our kids invite us to play, we get we feel a sense of dread and maybe boredom because we think, oh my God, how long is this going to last? Like, right? Like we don't set boundaries around it. So when we don't know when something is going to end, we don't want to start it. So set a time limit on, we're going to do this for 10 minutes. We're going to do this for 20 minutes, right? And surprisingly, it doesn't take a lot of time to fill our kids' buckets. When our kids want us to play with them, what they're really asking deep down is, do you see me as I am? Do you love me? Are you present? Right? And quality is always like a winner over quantity. So if you are just sitting on the floor next to them for 30 minutes, but kind of half-heartedly playing and kind of scrolling on your phone on and off, at the end of that 30 minutes, your child is going to want to keep playing even more because it's going to feel like I didn't get enough presence with you, right? Because you were so distracted. But instead, if you were able to just give them 10 minutes, but you gave them all of you for those 10 minutes, you were totally observing what they were saying, you were commenting, you were participating, that 10 minutes would have done way more for their like bucket of connection and presence than 30 minutes of your time. So make sure that you set a time limit and you are completely, fully present. All right. And what they really want is undivided attention from you. So make sure that you're coming up with an activity that feels fun-filled for both of you. And my final tip, and this is the big one, right, is oftentimes we don't want to play with our kids because fun is hard for a lot of us. And play is really based on curiosity and excitement and wonder, right? That's really what play is. And for a lot of us, we're completely disconnected from our inner child. An inner child is the childlike version of us that lives within all of us all the time. And that's the part of us that's able to have spontaneous fun, be impulsive, be curious, be excited, find the wonder in all what we call the mundane things in life. If you are completely disconnected from that version of you, from that part of you, then it's going to be really hard to play with our children. So in order to connect with your child, and if you want to enjoy playing more, is to start connecting with your inner child, is to start healing your relationship with the inner child. It's to start accepting the childlike part of you. It's to start giving that inner child who didn't get maybe the love and the recognition and the validation and the compliments, right? We can do this through meditation. We can do this through breath work. We can do this through journaling. There are so many ways that you get to connect with your inner child. But from my personal experience, I have found that when I do inner child work, I feel lighter, first of all. I feel seen. I feel validated. I feel loved for exactly who I am. I am more accepting of myself. And therefore, because I have reignited and strengthened that childlike part of me, it's very easy to show up for my kids and tap into that place of curiosity and wonder and excitement and play. It doesn't feel like a chore anymore because that part of the part that is in my child, right, is present within me. And I've just locked it away, which is why it feels so hard to access it and relate to our kids when they say, I want to play. But when you unlock it and when you start to strengthen that relationship, it becomes so easy to connect on a childlike level with our own children and it doesn't feel like a chore anymore. It feels intuitive and natural. All right. So, question number 2. How did you get over the money to invest in yourself, right? Why did you hire a coach? I'm scared to spend money on myself. I thought this was such a beautiful question of why did you hire a coach? So I'll share my story briefly. I was in a point of my life where I had everything I was supposed to have, right? The career, the relationship, the marriage, the children, the money, the car, the house. Like, I think when you're a child, like all of that becomes the goal, right? Because that's what you see your parents do. And we set that up as like the finishing point. And in a foreseeable future. When we're in high school, the goal is to get into college. When we're in college, then it's like my job. And once we get a job and start climbing that corporate ladder, it's like, oh, I got to find my lifelong partner. And then after that, it's like having kids. And then, like, you get to that point, right? You've checked off everything on this natural list that we have. And then we feel so lost. We're like, I've done everything. And yet I'm still not like, I don't feel fulfilled. I'm waking up in my life every day and I don't really feel excited. Like there's no purpose to my life. Like I don't really know why I'm doing this day in, day out. And that's the point I was at. I'd done everything I was supposed to do. I'd followed the prescription. And I felt so much guilt and shame for why I was waking up feeling so empty on the inside. And I really just wanted to feel good about life. And I thought that meant, like, let me quit my job. I thought my job was making me miserable. So I quit my job and then I decided to be a stay at home mom. I thought that was going to make me happy. I tried that for a couple of months and then I was like, oh my God, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. I need to start my own business because I was like, I want to earn money. I want to be independent, but I don't want to go back and work for somebody else because I want to create time freedom for myself. So I got trained to become a sleep consultant and I started that business. And that business was so freaking hard to find clients. And I wasn't making the money that I thought I was going to be making. So then I thought, oh, I'm still unhappy. And it's because I'm not making the money I thought I was going to be making. So let me find another business venture that can supplement my income. So I got into network marketing. And then I worked my booty off and I saw some level of success in marketing, in network marketing. But I found like my confidence was so bad because I was working so hard in network marketing. I was seeing all of these leaders in the company winning awards, going on trips, and I was nowhere close to any of that. But I was giving it my all. Like I was hustling 24/7. And like I felt soulless. So I thought, and then at that point, I was very unhappy at that point in my life. And on social media, I stumbled across a life coach who said that she too had been seeking success from everything externally, right? Like husband, kids, career. And then eventually she realized that she was able to completely transform her life. And that was through self love. And I was like, what is she talking about? I like leaned in and really started listening to her and reading her stuff because here was this woman who'd been in the exact position that I had been, experiencing the same amount of pain and suffering, but she was living this life that truly she was embodying. Like it wasn't fake. I could tell that from her energy and her post. Like she was truly loving her life now. And she'd created that not by changing anything in her life externally, but she had done it through her internal environment. Like how did the lens through which she saw herself. And I was like, my mind was blown. My entire world imploded because I then realized that my unhappiness and the unfulfillment and the lack of purpose wasn't because of my circumstances. It was because of everything that was going on internally. And then, so I was really scared to reach out to her, but I did. And she said, look, if you're really terrified, the only way you're going to overcome that fear is by us having a conversation. So we chatted. And by the end of that conversation, I was like, oh my God, I know this woman can help me. I really, really, really want to work with her. But I felt an immense amount of guilt because of the investment. Like at that time in my life, it felt like so significant and a large amount. And I felt like I was taking something away from my family financially by saying yes to her. Like it felt like if I win, and by winning, I meant invest in myself and work with this coach, my family was going to lose out. And whenever we are in that position, there's a lot of shame and a lot of heaviness attached to saying yes. And then you start putting an incredible amount of pressure on the investment you've made and you make it all or nothing. Like this has got to work and help me realize all of these dreams I have. Otherwise it's a waste. Like you're going into it, setting yourself up to fail and not succeed. So I did feel a lot of shame, but she gave me really helpful coaching on how to have this conversation with my husband on what I wanted, right? And that was really helpful. I told him, look, you may not understand why I need this. I don't think even I understand fully why I need this, but this just feels really good to me as a next step. And this this is the financial investment that I need your support on, because at that time I wasn't making enough money um, to like pay for it myself. But I can tell you that one single decision has led to such a huge domino effect. And even though it felt impulsive, wasteful at the time, completely uncertain, completely risky, the ripple effect of that decision knows no bounds. Like I cannot even measure or even start to measure how it's paid off. I can probably tap into 0.0001% because that's what I can see, right? But there's so much that we don't see as a ripple effect of our actions and our behaviors and how we show up in the world. So um, that's how I took the leap. And how did I overcome the fear of money, right? And she also coached me through that. So the question she asked me is like, it was never about the money, right? When we are scared to invest in ourselves, the easiest excuse and the easiest reason we grab onto is, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. I don't know whether this is going to work. So I'm not even going to go there. The deeper question that you're avoiding asking is, am I safe? Am I a safe bet? Am I worth investing in? Right? When it comes to a house, or when it comes to putting money towards college for our kids, or when it comes to buying a car, or when it comes to, buying an expensive vacation, we don't think twice about it, right? Because we know what the results are going to be. Like a house is a long-term investment. It's going to give me shelter. It's going to help me make memories with my family. When it's a car, we're like, it's going to take me from A to B. It's going to, tell people like the level of status I have, whatever your reason might be for buying a car, right? And when it's college, it's like, I'm investing in my kids' future, right? All of these things, we feel it's a safe bet. But when it comes to us investing in ourselves, the reason we hesitate is because there's a part of you, or there's a large part of you that says, you're not a safe bet. You're not worth betting on. You're not worth spending money on. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, that doesn't land well with me at all. Like, if I don't feel like I'm worth investing in, how can I ask anyone else to believe in me or invest in me or hire me for a job or whatever, right? And so that question felt really painful. And that was a pivotal moment for me. And I wanted to start believing I am a safe bet. I am worth investing in. And the only way to start believing that was by taking that step and saying, yes, okay, send me the contract, send me the payment link, and let's get started. I'm not saying it's easy at all. There's nothing easy about it. It's extremely uncomfortable. But that was the pivotal life-changing moment, one of my life-changing moments for me. All right. So the next question is, I dread work so much. I have a good career, but I feel so much pressure. Is there anything that would help? If this is you, raise your hand. Not like you personally who sent the question, but if you are in this boat, like I know I can't see you, but let's raise our, collective show of hands. Because there is so much power in acknowledging, first of all, where we are at in life and the thing that's causing us pain. And there's also a lot of power in realizing, oh, hey, I'm not the only one going through this. Like somebody else, a lot of somebody else's are also in my boat. And to this, I want to tell you, it's not easy to get up and go to a job day after day, the one that you're not excited or passionate about. So the question that I asked this person was, what causes the sense of dread for your job, right? Is it the work? Is it the actual work itself? Or is it the people that you're working with, or both? You've got to start looking closer instead of just saying, oh my God, like work sucks, I hate it. You've got to ask yourself, what are the specific things that bring my energy down, that drains me at work? What about your career do you not like? What about the aspects of it? Get really honest with yourself, right? Second, is the pressure, like most of the time when we feel pressured, it's because we're putting it on ourselves and it's not coming from the outside, even though we feel like it's coming from the outside. So who's putting this pressure on yourself? Is it society or is it yourself? And then why are you putting this pressure on yourself? What are you trying to prove to the world? Do you feel like you're on a race and there's a finish line and you've got to get there before anyone else, or time is about to run out. Like, what's going to happen if you don't get to that level by this time? What are people going to think? So these are all the thoughts that you're having that creates this pressure, right? Or maybe you feel like you're a fake at work and you feel kind of out of depth, and you're like not swimming, you feel like you're drowning. And so people are going to find out, and then what will they think? Like, find out what is causing the sense of dread, what is causing the anxiety, what is causing the pressure. Once you start to get clear on that, then there are things that you can do to start alleviating that pressure. And then a third thing is, are there things that you are taking on? Like, do you have a hard time saying no to your boss when they just keep piling on the work? Because there's a part of you that you have no idea how to say no. And again, there's something that you're trying to prove about your worth and your deservingness. Can you delegate, or can you ask for more support at work? Do you need help? Do you need help managing your priorities? And so maybe you struggle with asking for help and support because you believe that makes you look weak. And you're like, I should be able to figure this out. When in all fairness, maybe it's outside of the scope of your work. Like, there's so many ways that we can go in terms of exploring this question. But essentially, when you're at work and you're feeling all of this pressure, it comes down to one fundamental thing. It relates to your inner wounding and your sense of worth, right? When there is a deep wound that says, I'm not worthy unless X, Y, and Z, unless I prove myself in my career, or being successful in my career makes me worthy, right? When that is the wound that needs to be healed. It's not about, it's got nothing to do with the success in your career. You are trying to prove your worth through your work, which is the fundamental issue here, right? And the second thing is, a lot of times we choose our careers when we're very young, when we're right out of college, and we are like gung-ho about it, and we're like, yeah. And then when we've been in that industry, right, it loses its shine. Maybe you've changed as a person, you've grown and evolved, and now that career doesn't fill you with joy as much as it used to. And a lot of times we don't want to admit it because it feels like we've done something wrong. It feels embarrassing. It feels shameful. Like, we feel weak for not being able to stick with it. So all of these reasons, kick in, and we don't want to admit, like, this is not a right fit for me anymore. We keep trying to force ourselves into a box that no longer fits. And to that, I'm here to tell you, like, you're allowed to grow and evolve and change, and it is totally okay to change your mind, and it's totally okay to want to do something that is completely unrelated to your education and your previous experience, right? Millions of people take like huge detours from their career every single day, and they are okay. And that's allowed. I think in South Asian culture, we see our immigrant parents work at the same career all their life so that they could give us stability and safety and certainty and provide for us financially. And so when we think about exploring changing careers and going to follow maybe something in the arts or creative writing or something like that, it feels totally like frivolous. They're like, oh, like, my parents never did that. They gave me stability. And if I, like, it feels like we're almost, I don't know what's the word, like, when there's no sense of duty, right? Like, I can't get to follow whatever it is that I want to do because that's not what my parents did. So I don't get the permission to do that. I don't get the right to do that. And those are all completely imaginary things that we put on ourselves and carry this backpack of bricks to prove something about our worth. Again, that's to prove our worthiness as a good daughter, as a good son to our parents, and for all the sacrifices that they've made, right? If you are ever trying to prove something through something, it never works. That hole never gets filled from something externally. That hole, the hole that you're trying to fill through proving, will only get filled when you accept and realize, I'm worthy because I am. You're not worthy because you do. You're not worthy because you achieve. You're worthy because you are. All right. So I'm going to wrap up this episode with these 3 questions so that you really have time to digest. all the information that I've given you. And I think this Q&A was so powerful and potent because I think a lot of people struggle with a lot of these issues that we've talked about today. So if you love this Q&A episode, I would love to hear back from you. Like email me, hit the reply button on, the weekly email that you get regarding the podcast, or send me a DM on Instagram and say like, hey, I listened to that podcast, that Q&A. I loved it. That one particular question resonated with me. I would love to hear from you. All right. Take care, folks. And I will catch you on the next episode. Bye.